The house was too quiet for a Friday night. No laughter, no clinking glasses, just the low hum of the refrigerator and the occasional creak of old floorboards settling. Moonlight streamed through the kitchen window, casting long shadows across the tile where a shattered wine glass lay in glittering fragments. Red droplets, thick and dark, smeared the counter in uneven streaks. A single high-heeled shoe was kicked off near the doorway, as if its owner had fled in a hurry, or been dragged. This was Sarah Whitmore's dream home, or at least it had been, the kind of house people envied, with its wraparound porch and carefully tended rose bushes. The kind of house where nothing bad was supposed to happen. Sarah herself had been the picture of the perfect wife, gorgeous, successful, the sort of woman who made friends without trying. Her husband, Mark, was the kind of man who remembered anniversaries and brought home flowers just because. And then there was Emily Carter, Sarah's best friend since college, the one who knew all her secrets, the one who'd stood beside her at her wedding, holding the bouquet as Sarah said, "I do." But that was before the texts, before the late nights, before Sarah started noticing the way Mark's eyes lingered on Emily just a second too long. The first time Sarah suspected something was wrong, she brushed it off. Paranoia, she told herself. Mark loved her. Emily would never betray her. Except the signs kept adding up. The way Emily had suddenly started canceling their weekly coffee, dates, how Mark's phone was always face down now, like he was hiding something. Then came the night Sarah woke up to an empty bed at 2 a.m. She found Mark in the living room, whispering into his phone. When he saw her, he hung up too fast. "Work, emergency," he said, but his hands were shaking. Sarah didn't sleep the rest of that night. Instead, she did something she'd never done before. She went through Mark's phone. The messages were carefully worded, but the meaning was clear. "Miss you. Can't wait to see you again." And one, sent just an hour earlier. "She's asleep. Call me." The contact name? EC. Emily Carter. Sarah's hands trembled so badly she almost dropped the phone. This couldn't be real. Not Mark. Not Emily. Not after everything. She'd been Emily's maid of honor. Emily had been the first person she told when she found out she was pregnant, before the miscarriage, before the grief they'd weathered together. The next morning, Sarah confronted Mark. He denied it at first, then blamed her. "You've been so distant," he said. "What did you expect?" She didn't cry. She didn't scream. She just stared at him, this man she'd shared a bed with for 7 years, and realized she didn't know him at all. Meanwhile, Emily avoided her calls. When they finally met for lunch, Emily couldn't look her in the eye. "It just happened," she mumbled. "I never meant to hurt you." Sarah laughed, a sharp, broken sound. "Then why did you?" Emily had no answer. The weeks that followed were a blur of silence and stifled rage. Mark moved out, but the gossip spread fast. Their friends took sides. Some pitied Sarah, others whispered that she must have driven Mark away. "No smoke without fire," someone muttered at a dinner party, just loud enough for Sarah to hear. Then came the night of the storm. Rain lashed the windows as Sarah sat alone in the dark, scrolling through old photos, her and Emily at graduation, arms slung around each other, Mark grinning as he kissed her cheek on their honeymoon. Something inside her fractured. She texted, "Emily, we need to talk. Come over." Emily arrived 20 minutes later, her hair damp from the rain. She looked nervous. "Sarah, if this is about Mark, it's about you," Sarah said calmly. "You were my best friend. You were supposed to protect me." Emily flinched. "I know. I'm so sorry." "Sorry doesn't fix it." Sarah's voice was eerily steady. She turned toward the kitchen counter, where a knife block sat beside a half-empty bottle of wine. "You took everything from me. Emily didn't see it coming. The first stab was clumsy, slipping between ribs. Emily gasped, her eyes wide with shock. The second was harder, deeper. By the third, Sarah wasn't even thinking, just moving, driven by a white-hot rage that had been simmering for months. Emily collapsed against the refrigerator, her hands clutching at the wounds. Blood seeped through her fingers, dripping onto the tile. "Sarah, please." Sarah dropped the knife. It clattered to the floor as the reality of what she'd done crashed over her. Emily slid down, her breath coming in wet, ragged gasps. "Oh, God," Sarah whispered. She fumbled for her phone, her hands slick with blood. I'll call an ambulance." But Emily's eyes had already gone glassy. The police found Sarah sitting on the kitchen floor, rocking back and forth, Emily's body cradled in her lap. She didn't resist arrest, didn't speak. At the trial, the prosecutor called it premeditated, cold. Sarah's lawyer argued it was a crime of passion, that betrayal had pushed her over the edge. The jury didn't care about why. Only what? Life in prison. No parole. Mark sold the house, changed his name, moved to another state. The neighbors stopped talking about it, though sometimes teenagers dared each other to sneak onto the property at night, whispering that if you listened hard enough, you could still hear a woman crying. Was it Emily or Sarah, finally realizing what she'd lost? No one knew. Some secrets go to the grave.